Kardashian.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. The Met Gala blue carpet just finished and we have so many looks that I want to talk about. I wanted to do a long form video and go through my favorites, my least favorites, and just kind of react in real time. I've seen all of these on Twitter. I did a little bit of short form reacting to them, but here's a longer debrief of everything we saw last night. And before I get into the individual looks, what I want to say is I think for the most part, most people were on theme. Now that has not happened in recent years. I think it was a very cohesive Met Gala in total. There were a lot of stunning looks and the men this year showed up and showed out. I get so mad when they just wear a black tuxedo to an event like this. So the fact that we had so many stellar outfits from men really made me happy. Okay, let's start with some of the highlights. Taylor, oh my God, she was one of the first to arrive on the carpets because she was working with Vogue as a correspondent. This was so good. It had so many fun embellishments. She came with a hat, a cane, brooches, everything was there. It was completely and utterly on theme. It is in my best dressed. I have nothing else to say besides the fact that she absolutely ate this down. It was a custom Marc Jacobs. Marc Jacobs literally did his big one with that because it was just so elegant. It had that long train. It had words that were embellished into the side. It was just everything and more. I was obsessed with this look. Next, I have to talk about Emma Chamberlain. She's one of my favorite creators ever. And the fact that this is her 5th Met, is mind-boggling to me. But she was wearing a custom Courrèges gown. It was a pinstripe suit that was reimagined into a dress. I did love the cutouts in this, and I loved that the trim on the gloves was actually the same as the fabric for the dress, and I think that was really cool. I also loved having the glasses there was a fun little touch, as well as the glam. I thought that that really took it over the edge, and Emma is 5 for 5 in my opinion. She has not missed. Then I have to talk about Demi Moore and just Thom Browne in general because they ate this up. I mean, this is a designer where the Met theme just fits exactly into what they do anyway, but Demi Moore was a literal necktie. She had this big kind of structural piece behind her, and it was because she made herself into the tie. It was pinstripe, we did see a lot of that, but I didn't even care. I just thought it was so inventive and so cool and just a fun way to reimagine this theme, which was tailored for you. It's supposed to be focused on menswear and not just tailoring of suits and suit pants, of accessories and how that kind of fits into the dandyism movement. Then we have Cynthia Erivo. I loved this. I loved everything about it. The embellishments with the brooches all over the shirt and the structural kind of shoulders that jut out, as well as the shorts with the long kind of skirt train, and the fact that the brooches on the shirt matched the brooches on the shoes. This was great. I honestly was gagged when I saw her walk on that carpet. I liked it a lot better than any other Met Gala outfit she's ever worn. Next, Doechii. It was her first Met Gala. She went with Louis Vuitton. This was so great, so cool. I love that she played with the different patterns because she did decide to go with the same color for the shirt and for the shorts, but the patterns were different, as well as the fact that she brought in that maroon with the tie and the socks and the shoe. She had the cigar and she even had a little Louis Vuitton prosthetic on her face. Now, I knew Doechii was going to absolutely serve this Met down. However, I didn't realize it was going to be like this. This was so good. It was so on theme and it was still so true to her and her own personal style that I think it was perfect. Sabrina Carpenter. First of all, her face card is so crazy. It's so crazy. And to bring in that maroon and wear a coat-tailed number with the shorts and the structured suit top, I think that the coattails was a really nice touch because that is a real nod to dandyism and coattails that were in suit jackets back with traditional dandy dress. And she just looked so stunning. Literally, she looked so amazing. I can't even say it enough, but 10s for her as well. Next, Alton Mason. I thought this was great. I thought that the structure in the shoulders to then reveal into that sparkly cutout top and the shoe, everything was working for me, but then it was the hat and the eye patch that really took it over the edge. And this is what I was talking about with the men really going all out. And on that same kind of narrative, I want to talk about Shaboozey because I feel like this was great. The beads and the hat, I mean, come on. I've been raving about a lot of these looks because overall it was a great Met, but there were some people that completely missed the assignment in my opinion, and I do want to mention those as well. I'm sorry if these people are your favorites, but I have to bring it up. Rosé, I'm sorry girl. It just was really lackluster for me. It did not do anything. It just was one dimension. It was just the black. She had a necklace. The hair wasn't giving that much either. It just really was a letdown in my opinion because we had some other members of Blackpink slay. And by that I just mean like Jennie, because we'll talk about Lisa next. Lisa having Rosa Parks' silhouette on her crotch was definitely a choice that Louis Vuitton had to make. I don't know if that's like a good choice. Basically, if you zoom into this outfit, you can see that underneath the original shirt that she's wearing, there's like an undershirt that has silhouettes of like famous Black activists or just historical Black people. And like, it just felt really weird that like the place that you could really see that shine the most was her crotch area. And I felt like that was really a miss from Louis Vuitton because I don't know what would really like make them do that.
Well, yeah, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes.
Wow, that is so rude.
I noticed this like after looking at it for a while because I was like, wait, what is that? And then I zoomed in and I was like, wait, that's silhouettes of people, and like literally right there is Rosa Parks. So that was definitely something that shocked me. And then to the best dressed of Blackpink, we'll talk about Jennie. She went with Chanel. I love this. I love the hat. I love the construction of this. I love the pearls. It was great. And she is definitely one of the best dresses of the night. I think that she absolutely served. Then we have Zendaya. And one thing about Zendaya is she is going to wear a big hat. Now, lest we not forget that Teen Vogue party, that picture still haunts her. And she did say in a Vogue interview pretty recently that she stands by that outfit and she wants to bring that hat out of retirement, and that she did at the Met Gala, because basically this hat that she wore, this white hat along with this exquisitely tailored suit, was like the older sister of the black hat that she wore years ago. I thought this Zendaya look was amazing, but like the fact that she sold it to us on the red carpet the way that she did, I think really changed it for me. Like, she ate that down with the poses. It was just everything. And I was expecting a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie, because Zendaya is like my fashion queen. Her and Law Roach's partnership needs to be studied. And I was expecting a little bit more at first. I saw her come on, I was like, okay, she's wearing like a perfectly tailored white suit with a hat. But then I saw the red carpet photos and I was like, wait, I'm seeing the vision, I'm getting it, and it's perfectly on theme as well. Then we have Coco Jones. She's in my top 5 best dress. She looked stunning. The details on that garment were so crazy, and I love that she had that braid, but I wanna zoom in and just show you guys because it must have taken so many hours to get the sewing correct on all of these embellishments throughout the entire garment. Like, so good. And then I want to talk about one of our co-chairs, Coleman Domingo, who had a reveal on the carpet. I love this like blue kind of cape that he was wearing that was covering his body the whole time, and he had this armor-like piece around his neck. It had a lot of great embellishments on it, and I just thought it was really cool, but I knew that there was something underneath, and there was. This suit was amazing. The flower, the different patterns and textures that they were playing with is perfectly on theme. It is very reminiscent of some of the pieces that are actually in the Superfine Tailoring Black Style exhibit. And so as a co-chair, I felt like he really knocked it out of the park. Same thing with Lewis Hamilton. I mean, I didn't think his look was like one of the best, but I did love the hat. I loved that cropped jacket. And he did have some fun brooches and embellishments throughout. And I think it was a great nod to the exhibit itself. One of the co-chairs that extremely failed was Pharrell Williams, who is a fashion icon, honestly. And the fact that he just showed up in a pearl suit jacket and black pants really made me upset because he could have done so much more, like so much more. And it really disappointed me, I'm not gonna lie. Then we had Diana Ross. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this because this look was so crazy. It was like a 25 to 30 foot cape that she had on with a feather trim. She is just everything. Like, is it the most perfectly on theme? I don't know. Like, I think that it has some elements of the tailored for you menswear style, kind of, but it's Diana Ross. Like, guys, it's so good. Then we have Janelle Monáe and Thom Browne. I mean, this is a top tier look. Janelle Monáe and Thom Browne and the Met have an amazing history, and this theme, I said so many times that it was made for her. So the fact that they were able to do this like really cool surrealist look and then do a reveal into a pantsuit was everything, because she came on that carpet and I was like, this is enough. Like, this is giving it to me. And that monocle was a working clock. I loved the hat and how the monocle was attached. That was super camp. And then as she got up, the stairs. They zipped her out of that, and then it revealed a pantsuit with some extra stuff and some different patterns. And I just like, I have to give it up for her. Like, she is so good at doing stuff like this. Like, I even said her 2019 Camp Met Gala look would have done numbers at this year's Met Gala. So the fact that she even like topped that to me is wild. Joey King, the literal last thing I expected from the 2025 Met Gala was a Joey King serve. I normally despise everything Joey King wears to a red carpet. So the fact that I saw her come out of her hotel and I was like, wait, so she's perfectly on theme and she looks absolutely stunning and it is everything to me. The brooches all over the pantsuit was the first thing that caught my eye, because that is, you know, a perfect nod to dandyism. But then when I took a closer look and I saw the different textures and patterns she was playing with on all the different elements, the tie, the undershirt, everything was working in a way that like her stylist deserves a raise just for this look, because to have like flop after flop after flop and then step out at the Met Gala in like a stunningly on theme garment is really hard to do. So the fact that Joey did it with flying colors and had stunning glam really, really shocked me. Next up, we have Mona Patel, and I just need to like give a round of applause to Thom Browne for this Met Gala because they served so hard. Like, they gave their clients everything that they needed and more to be on a best dress list. Mona Patel is someone who slays the Met every year, and she came with Thom Browne and had this perfectly tailored suit dress. But when you take a look at the back, there is this bionic spine detailing that puts it so over the edge for me. It's the hat and that bionic spine. Oh my God. The way that I literally gasped, because I'm like, how do they even think of that? Iowa Debris, another one that absolutely killed it. She was in Ferragamo. I loved the beading on this dress. The color was very dress shirt reminiscent, but my favorite part of this look was the fact that it had a leather trench coat with these like strips of leather coming off, because playing with the different textures and like materials to make these items was super cool. Like the bead juxtaposed with that cotton dress shirt with then the leather coat over top, I think was so perfectly done. And then it had just like the little gold pin. And for the hair, the glam, makeup, styling, everything was on point for her. 10s. I do want to talk about the Kardashians because they have been a staple at the Met for a while and they just really missed the mark this year. There are times, and I talked about it in my last video, where Kim really blew me away. And this year I'm like, okay, she's wearing like an off-kilter hat and she decided to wear a different type of fabric than most other people there, but like the construction was like, it was what it was. It was on theme to a degree. It really is missing the mark for me. And Kylie, I also see the vision. Like, I see that there is something there. It's just not executed to the highest standard. And like, I think they've just gotten so lazy with the Met. They're just like, okay, whatever, like it's just another event. And that's just not how this should be, in my opinion. Like, if you're gonna come to the Met, like it's an honor and a privilege, and like you need to serve based on the theme. And they're just not doing that. Like, again, it's like a half-baked idea for Kylie, and for Kendall, it's like she didn't even try. Like, I see that garment and I'm like, okay, cool. It is a bland gray thing and it's taking the most basic elements of menswear and infusing it into a pretty gown. Cool. It's plain gray. The styling wasn't interesting. It just makes me so mad when I see, especially like a Kendall giving the bare minimum, because low-key she's been giving the bare minimum at the Met for like a minute. And I know that sounds super harsh. I just am not living. And I think there should be a kind of like, if you're not gonna live up to the theme and like really try and give it your all, like, should you be invited in the future? I don't know. I'm not Anna Wintour, so I can't decide that. But like, if I were deciding, I would say like, either step it up next year or you can't come back. Another look I absolutely loved was Andre 3000's. He was an official host named by Vogue. This like piano strapped to his back was something that like I have never seen before. And it looked like that whole pantsuit is fully denim. And I don't like, again, the men really this year showed up and showed out. Like, I am used to screaming at my phone by the end of Met night being like, the men need to just not be invited anymore. And this year they like really showed up, and it makes me so happy because it makes the entire cohesiveness of this event really shine through. When you're looking at all of these looks together in like a document or in an article, you see that there is a lot of commonality this year, as opposed to in past years when you see like the women, you can kind of try to piece it together. And then when you see the men, It's like, okay, like another black suit. Another honorable mention look is Tessa Thompson. I loved the construction of this. The proportions were so cool, like literally hourglass shape. And I loved that that hat was like cartoon-esque in the way that it was sitting on her head and the way that it was styled. I loved the ruffle sleeves, the tie, the like comically big buttons. It was like a caricature type dress and I just loved this. Also, Jenna Ortega wearing this like welded metal ruler dress. I don't know how that pertains to the theme. I'm sure that there is some way. I don't know that off the top of my head, but it is one of the coolest dresses I've ever seen because of the way that it literally must have been welded to her exact measurements for her to fit in it. And like the hair, the makeup, everything is stunning, but like that dress is the focal point. So the rest could be pretty simple. There's something about the fact that she's in like 30 melted like rulers and yardsticks is really interesting to me. And I wonder who designed that because I haven't been able to find it yet, but I want to know more about this dress. Also, Doja Cat in custom Marc Jacobs. First of all, she is the new face of Marc Jacobs. It was announced yesterday. So the fact that she, of course, is wearing them to the Met is like amazing, but the construction of this, super, super cool. I love that she used an animal print, like using leopard print when everyone else has done normal suit colors and patterns. Like, this was so fun because she did have that normalcy in a little bit of pinstripe. Then she had the animal print detailing. She had the big fur hat and the really, really high platforms. Like, I just love this. Like, this is when Doja Cat really shines, in my opinion. Like, she loves the Met, but she also understands fashion. She knows how to be creative and be collaborative with a designer to make an amazing vision come to life to fit the theme. And like, this to me was perfect. Some people that I also forgot to mention were Chappell Roan, who actually made her Met Gala debut. And first of all, I loved all of the colors on this. But the one thing I don't understand is why she didn't wear this like big, long kind of jacket that she had walking out of the hotel on the carpet. It would have looked so good. And I loved the bell bottoms with the slit, and the glam on this was so good. And she always does really inventive makeup looks, but the fact that she went above and beyond for the Met, of course, I wouldn't expect anything less, but I did love this and it fit the theme perfectly. I just wish she walked the carpet with that long coat because it had those like really fun fur embellishments and I think it would have photographed super, super well. Also, Miley Cyrus, I think I love the top half. The necklace is super cool, the leather is great, and she looks stunning, of course, but the bottom half is a little boring in my opinion. I would have changed it a little bit and made it maybe more structured to stay in line with the theme a little bit more, but I do think that she looks great. Another home run for me was Tracee Ellis Ross. It was giving surrealism. It was so structured. I loved the different variations of pink that she used. Again, color was really hard to find at some points during this carpet because there were a lot of garments that were just like black and white. But Tracee slayed this. The top hat, the big bow as a belt, the pants, like the construction of those, super, super cool. I loved everything about this look. Unfortunately, that means I have to go into another one that I wasn't like 100% sold on. And this makes me really sad to say, but Anne Hathaway, because she's everything to me. I love Anne Hathaway so much, but this just was kind of a miss. I think it was Versace. She had a high pony. She looked super snatched. It was a dress shirt and a skirt that I could see her wearing at any fashion week, any year. So the fact that it wasn't like anything super special pertaining to the dress code, like you can argue that it's on theme, of course. It's a dress shirt, it's leaning into menswear. It's just nothing special. And when I think of the Met, I think of something super, super special and unique and custom. And this just missed the mark in my opinion. We did have a little bit of a White Lotus reunion on the carpet as well with Amy Lou Wood, Patrick Schwarzenegger, and Walton Goggins. Now, Amy Lou Wood, this was literally all over the place. I kind of can see the vision in this, but I don't know why the jacket was cropped. I don't know why there's like a literal just piece of like tulle fabric that's being like draped across her. I think that the flower detailing is super cute. I think it's like on the shoes, but to me, it just missed the mark as well. I did not like this. It probably would end up on my personal worst dress list. However, Patrick and Walton actually ate down. Patrick, I was not expecting. I was not familiar with your game because that yellow, really interesting shirt with the maroon detailing and like the clutch he had with the blue, I loved this. I thought it was super cool. And then with Walton, he wore this like really fun constructed skirt with a long trench coat. It was like patchwork with all of the different like sections of the jacket being made with a different color / type of fabric. I thought this was amazing. And the tie going all the way down into the pants. Low key, he has been eating recently. Another thing I really need to mention about this Met Gala was Rihanna did not make an appearance. Okay, so I filmed this original video before Rihanna got there because she literally showed up so late, but she did make an appearance and I loved this look. I believe she's wearing custom Marc Jacobs. I love the corset boning over the stomach because it really highlights that she's pregnant and she wanted to have a big moment. Of course, she did the paparazzi photo shoot in the streets before she changed. And the hat, the styling of everything, I love this look. I like it better than A$AP Rocky's. Rihanna just never misses for me. Like, she always just looks so stunning. And the Met is her big event to step out and show us all that she will forever be that girl. And I really like this. Because she announced that she was pregnant by doing a photo shoot in the streets of New York City. Like, she was walking, she was getting paparazzi photos taken of her, and that was how she announced her pregnancy. Another unexpected best dress for me was Mindy Kaling. I loved this look, and Mindy Kaling sometimes has some atrocious red carpet looks, but this was doing it for me. The brooches that go down the middle of the skirt, the two-colored belt with the different strips of fabric, like, this was stunning, and she looked absolutely amazing. If you kept up with the Met, let me know who your favorite look was. And even if you haven't, if you watched this video, who was your favorite out of everyone that I talked about here? Thanks so much for watching, guys. And please like and subscribe. I wanted to get this up as fast as possible because I wanted it to be fresh. So please let me know and have a great week. Love you guys.